racing is coming to the River Tyne for the first time. A round of the UK Zapcat National Racing Championship will be held on the river between the Tyne and Millennium Bridges on the first weekend of September. The event is sponsored by NE1 Limited. I met there Stephen Patterson on the Newcastle quayside to learn more about Zapcat racing.
Zapcats are small, lightweight, rigid hull, very powerful speedboats, and it's fantastic to bring powerboat racing to the Tyne for the very first time.
And they're like sort of inflatable boats, aren't they? With an outboard motor?
They are. They've got the catamaran hull, rigid hull with inflatable tops to them, so lightweight, and thankfully, you know, if they flip, they're easy to ride.
OK, now they appear to have a two-man crew, one who is the driver and the other is like a mobile piece of ballast, is that right?
That's exactly it, yeah. The co-pilot very much acts in terms of ballast, so they pull up to 3 Gs when they turn in the corners, so it's very fast, very furious, and we hope it'll be very exciting for the people watching.
OK, so we're down here on the Newcastle quayside. We've got the law courts just behind us, the Millennium Bridge off to our left, the Tyne Bridge with the Olympic ring silhouetted there off to the right. So whereabouts will the course actually be? Right in front of us?
The NE1 Zapcat Grand Prix will be situated between the Tyne and Millennium Bridge. It's a rectangular course, very compact, but obviously that just gives everybody a great view from either side of the river.
Have you had powerboats racing this far up the river before?
No, never before. This is the first time powerboat racing be brought onto the Tyne, and that's very much as a result of anyone sponsoring the event, and obviously the Port of Tyne giving permission for the event to take place.
Of course, you've got the new marina as well that's just been opened, the Newcastle City Marina. Now, will that be used over the weekend that the boats are racing here then?
Absolutely. The Newcastle City Marina just recently installed. That'll be acting as the wet pits for the day where the boats are stored in between races, and obviously it just gives people that fantastic vantage point to get close to the boats and actually see what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, could you have done the race without the new marina?
Absolutely not. It really provides a facility not just for the NE1 Zapcat Grand Prix, but it's being used for the Bridges Festival. We had it full to capacity with boats for the Olympic Torch Relay. It really does just provide that facility for more activity to take place on the river.
And nobody from the Port of Tyne is going to come along and say, yes, you can race here as long as they don't go more than 4 miles an hour or something.
No, thankfully the Port of Tyne have been very supportive. Their major thought is about increasing usage of the river, and they want to see it used. So I think anything like the NE1 Zapcat Grand Prix that brings people down to the river and has animation on it, I think that's all very good.
Now, what we don't want to see, funny enough, we're just looking at the moment, there's a lot of driftwood coming down at the moment. Presumably that's the kind of thing you don't want to see as a result, perhaps, of heavy rain or something before the race.
Absolutely. Well, the race is Royal Yacht Association certified, so that forms very much part of all of their risk assessments and sort of checks being done between the races.
And it's all free?
It is, absolutely free for all the families, so just come down and watch on the day.
Now, one of the bizarre things about where we're standing at the moment, I mean, it's quite a reasonable, balmy kind of day, but we've got palm trees.
We have
in front of us, and now if we turn right, in fact, let's come across the road, because if you've not been down to the Newcastle quayside recently, this is called the Quayside Seaside, and it does what it says on the tin. It is a kind of a mini beach, and this is something to do with you as well.
It absolutely is. Anyone brought in the Quayside Seaside for the first time last summer, brought it back again this year, but a month longer. We opened it the start of June instead of July, and it's been fantastic to see the amount of people using it.
OK, listen, there's a deck chair over here, so let's go and make use of this. I mean, this is quite a bizarre thing. I'm walking on sand on the Newcastle quayside. There's a deck chair with NE1 written on it, and I am going to sit down and take a seat. I'm looking across now at the Sage just above HMS Calliope. This will be a good place to watch the racing, wouldn't it?
Well, absolutely so. I think even more so when the tide's high. I think anyone's Quayside Seaside will be a great place for the family to come and camp for the day.
There's a lot of sand here which you've had to bring in. Did you lose much of that during the recent rain?
Thankfully not. The beach is all self-contained, so when we had the rain, none of it was lost.
That was Stephen Patterson from NE1 Limited. Now, that Zapcat Championship will be held on the Tyne over the weekend of September the 1st and the 2nd. I must admit, it was a bit strange in the middle of the day to be sitting on a deck chair at the quayside there, looking out
with
across
your trousers
the road.
rolled up.
Absolutely.
I've seen